guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we have another piercing related video for you guys. This one I thought was really important for me to make because I have gotten this question quite a bit and I have also experienced this myself. I thought I would make a full video just kind of talking about it, and as you can tell by the title, we are going to be talking about when to call it quits on a piercing or when you should give up on a piercing. Now, a quick little disclaimer is, one, I am not a professional body piercer. I love piercings. I love learning about piercings. I love learning everything about the industry in general, but I am not a professional. I am not licensed. I do not practice body piercing at all. I get all of my piercings done professionally. I don't do them, nothing like that. So if you're watching this video looking to get some piercing advice, I will always tell you to please go see a professional piercer first, because I am not a professional and I don't want to come off that way. I don't want to trick you guys. I want to be very transparent that all of my piercing videos and all of the knowledge that I share on my channel about piercings is all from personal experience and just my general love for piercings. I'm a huge advocate for body mods, piercings, tattoo, extreme body mods. Like, I am all about it. I love learning about it. I love sharing my experiences about it, and I love sharing knowledge and information. So I just want to put that out there right away. With all those disclaimers out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm sure many of you who are watching this video have gotten a piercing and it just, for whatever reason, will not heal. It keeps flaring up. You keep having issues with it. You keep getting irritation bumps, piercing bumps, hypertrophic scarring, and you're trying everything and it's just not working, and you want to know, when is it time to call it quits? Now, this can happen with any piercing. The one thing that people tend to forget is that every human body and every piercing experience on every human body is going to be different. Some people can get certain piercings and all is well, while others can get those same exact piercings, and it's not always going to be the same story because everyone's body is different, immune system, anatomy, all those things come into play when you get a piercing. When you get piercings, you have to be very patient, you have to be very responsible, you have to accept the consequences of what can happen when you get that piercing, as far as scarring, finding a job, all these things. So in order to get piercings, you have to be a very responsible person, and you also have to know when it's time to call it quits, right? And just because you do have to give up on a piercing, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't ever get that piercing again. It just means that you have to take a few different approaches and try different things. When you have a piercing and you can't get it to heal and you want to know when it's time to call it quits, there are a few questions that you do need to ask of yourself. The first one is, what kind of piercing did you get? Because not every one piercing is the same. A lot of piercings have longer healing times than others, and other piercings have shorter healing times than others. For example, if you get a septum piercing, that is going to heal, if it's done correctly, it is going to heal a lot faster than, say, a helix piercing or a snug piercing or a belly button piercing. So you need to ask yourself, what piercing did you get and what is the healing time for that piercing? Did you get a helix piercing? Okay, you're going to have a good 6 to 12 months of healing. The second question you need to ask yourself is, did you go to a professional and or accredited piercing shop? Or did you do it yourself? Did your friend do it in the high school bathroom? There's a big difference between getting a piercing done by a professional, by a member of the APP, and there's also a difference between going to a street shop or having your best friend do it in a basement when you're drunk at a party. The next question you need to ask yourself is, how are you cleaning it? Are you cleaning it properly? Are you not cleaning it enough? Are you cleaning it too much? What are you using to clean it? Because that is also very, very important. Over cleaning is just as bad as not cleaning, and using certain things to clean it are not as good as other things. The next question is, are you being careful? Because the first couple months of getting a new piercing are definitely the most precious time with that piercing. If you're constantly sleeping on it, if you're constantly snagging it, hitting it, wearing makeup on it, not taking care of it, not being careful, then yes, that can also cause issues to arise. And then the last question is, what kind of jewelry, what quality of jewelry do you have in that piercing? Most of the time, shops will use titanium because it almost never has allergic reactions. It's a very, very light metal, and it's always great for healings. After going through those questions, if you answered them, for example, did you go to a professional piercer? Yes, no. Are you cleaning it properly? Yes, no. Are you being careful? Yes, no. If you answered no to a lot of those, then you probably need to switch up a few things. But if you answered yes to those and it's still just not healing, then it is time to seek the advice of either a piercer, or if it is really, really severe, even a doctor. There are some cases where people just let their piercings go without getting advice, without taking care of it, and they have to get them surgically removed. So that is when it is time to seek out the advice of a professional piercer. They will be able to look at it, tell you what's wrong, tell you what to do differently, and even tell you, hey, it's honestly just time to take it out. It's not meant to be there. Your anatomy is not correct. Or they will tell you, take it out, let it heal, and we can re-pierce it properly in a year once everything is all healed up. And how you're cleaning it, that also really, really matters. Cleaning it with sea salt solution that has too much salt in it, that can really dry out and irritate the skin. Cleaning it too much can also dry out and irritate the skin. Some people are cleaning their piercings up to 10 times a day. That is absolutely not necessary. In my opinion, after, getting piercings for the last over 10 years, I have done a lot of things that were not properly correct. And now I have more experience and knowledge with piercings. My one thing I use to clean and take care of my piercings while they are healing is the Neil Med Piercing Aftercare Spray. It looks just like this. I have 2 of these in my house. I keep one downstairs and upstairs because when I have a new piercing, and no matter what floor I'm on, I always have this. So this is the one thing that I use to clean and take care of my piercings. You can get this from some piercing shops. You can get this on Amazon. This is very, very easy to find. It is very affordable. And the thing that is good about this is a sterile saline solution that has a very, very fine mist. So it's not going to be super hard on your piercing. You're not going to have a super strong mist shooting at a very delicate area, an open wound. This is honestly all you need for cleaning your piercing. So if you're using something other than a sterile saline solution, you're probably using something that is a little bit too harsh. Human body is an amazing thing. As soon as you get that piercing and as soon as you start bleeding when you get that piercing, your body automatically sends white blood cells to that area to help heal it, okay? Those white blood cells are going to be a huge factor in healing your piercing because that's just what the body does. And those white blood cells are necessary. If you are constantly washing those things away, you're going to irritate it, you're going to experience tightness, dryness, itchiness, and it can also lead to just some other problems, like messing with it too much can lead to rejection and migration. As far as being careful, when you get a new piercing, it's new. You've never had it before. It feels a little bit weird. So over those next couple of months, you have to kind of almost relearn your body, and you almost kind of have to adjust to having that while it is healing. So for example, if you are getting an ear piercing or a helix piercing, those are such a bitch to heal. They're very, very painful during that healing process. So are you avoiding sleeping on that side? If you are sleeping on that side, are you using a travel pillow where your ear can sit in there? When you're brushing your hair or washing your hair, are you avoiding that area, keeping the shampoo and other soaps away from it? That is also very important. And also the kind of jewelry. A lot of people who get piercings don't know they have a allergy to metal until they start getting piercings. So there are certain people who can only have titanium or they can only have gold, which I don't really like gold because it can be really heavy on a new piercing, and having all that weight on a new piercing can actually cause issues. So I honestly, my recommendation is if you are going to be going and getting a new piercing that you've never had before, I always recommend titanium, but some people get pierced with, the steel or things like that, and people will have a nickel allergy, and it'll just it's just a mess. So it's always best to know what kind of jewelry that you have in the piercing. And after all of those things, if you're doing all of those things correct and it's just not healing, if you've tried changing the jewelry, if you've tried being careful, started cleaning it differently and properly, if you've waited the total amount of time for that piercing to heal. So many people will message me and say, hey, I got my belly button piercing a week ago and it's not healed yet. What the F is going on? And it's you need to give it time. And if you are going to a professional piercer, depending on what piercing you're getting, they will tell you how long it generally takes to heal. And like I said in the beginning, each piercing is different. Some piercings take longer to heal than others. Your septum piercing will probably heal way quicker than your belly button or a helix. So if you're only waiting a week and you don't understand why it's healed yet, you need to wait longer. So if you're waiting the appropriate amount of time, if you're doing all of these things and it's still just not healing, that is when I recommend it's probably time to take it out. Go see a piercer, see if they can give you a little more insight as to what the heck is going on. And like I said, even if you have to take it out, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't ever have that piercing again. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes your anatomy is just not right for that piercing. Other times it may have just been done improperly, or something else went wrong and a different piercer may be able to do it properly. So you may just have to take it out, let it heal, and either call it quits and never get it again and just, enjoy the experience that you had with it, or get it done again in the future by a different piercer, someone who actually knows what they're doing. Find someone who has experience in those certain types of piercings. Every piercer has to start somewhere. Every piercer has done a piercing for the first time, but there are other piercers who maybe have more experience than others with certain piercings. You just gotta make sure that you're following proper protocol. I know, as human beings, especially us with piercings, we get very impatient, we get very excited, and we wanna put in new jewelry. That's like the best part of a piercing is when you can put in new jewelry, right? I get it. But you need to go through that initial ugly phase with your piercing in order for it to be successful, in order for it to be healthy. So all in all, to wrap up this video, you have to know your body. You have to keep asking yourself these questions. If you're doing something wrong, recognize that, take accountability for it, seek out advice, and do the right thing. And even after you do all that, if you have to call it quits, you have to call it quits. Not all piercings are meant to be permanent, and that is okay. I really hope that you guys found this video helpful and informative. If you are out there watching your video and you're not sure if you need to call it quits on your current piercing, hopefully this answered some questions for you. If you guys enjoyed this video, or if you have any other tips or tricks to share down in the comments, please do so, and give this video a huge thumbs up if you did find it helpful. Hopefully it was organized enough. I kind of just thought of this video off the top of my head and just sat down and filmed it. I didn't really have any outlined notes or anything. I just kind of went at it. So hopefully it made sense enough, and hopefully I answered some of your guys' questions. If you are new to my channel and this is the first video of mine that you are seeing, make sure you go down and hit that red subscribe button, turn on all notifications so you don't miss out on any future videos from me. We do all kinds of content here: piercings, tattoo, vlogs, hauls, all kinds of stuff. So if that is something you are interested in, please go down and subscribe. I would absolutely love to have you join the family we have here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so very much, and I will see you very soon in my next video. I love you guys. Bye. Mwah.